Hello everyone, I'm Teresa and today I'm going to talk about the last card of the Major Arcana, card number 21, the World. Welcome back to another video of the Tarot series. On today's video, we will be saying our goodbyes to the Major Arcana. This is indeed the last card of this part of the Rider Waite Smith Tarot deck, but don't you worry, because the Tarot series is not over. I will address the Minor Arcana as well, and I will do a video for each of the cards. So before we start, give this video a big thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, but want to learn tarot reading, or just enjoy sharing knowledge about tarot and divinations, don't forget to subscribe and be part of my community. Without further ado, because this is the last card, let's jump right into the numerology part. So card 21, we started the cycle of the 20s with the previous card and this one kept it going. 21 brings us the number 2 and the number 1, and if you go by the splitting method, and I don't like to repeat myself, but number 1s are for potential, beginnings. They mark the start of something new, the first step forward. And number 2s are for balance, for duality, and can mean choices between two opposites. However, if we add the numbers instead of splitting them, we will get the number 3. And this number stands for expansion, for growth, and it can speak of groups, collaborations, for example. Now let's look at the image of this card. Main thing is obviously this naked woman floating at the center of the card. And this woman is holding two batons or wands and has a cloth wrapped around her. She also has a wreath around her that forms a closed circle. And outside of this circle, there are 4 figures on each corner of the card. We see a human head, we see an eagle, a bull, and a lion. It's a really beautiful card, and even more beautiful if we take into account that it closes up the Major Arcana cycle. So what does this all mean? This naked woman is floating in the sky in an apparent peaceful dance. Notice first of all how her whole body faces one direction while her head looks on the opposite side. She is in her most pure form, at peace with herself and the world. She is moving graciously forward, but looks behind, sort of like looking fondly at the past, but not lingering in it. There are a few things to this woman that I'd like to point out. Even though she is naked, she is holding 2 wands. And if you look at them, you'll notice you've already seen this exact wands on the card of the Magician. And if you remember it, the Magician holds up the wand to channel superior powers and channeling them down back to earth. But on this card, the woman is holding 2 wands instead of 1, and she isn't pointing them towards any specific direction. So she has channeled the power. She has the power, but she isn't directing it at the moment. She is keeping it. And this power can be perceived as spiritual enlightenment, spiritual wisdom. She has done her work, both shadow and light. Another thing I'd like to mention about this woman is the pose. Notice how she has her legs crossed in a way that is very similar to the Hanged Man. Both have their left leg crossed behind the right leg. Both are in suspension for different reasons, of course. But also notice how the Hanged Man is the card 12. Written backwards, 12 turns into 21. On another note, there is this gray or purple cloth. It really depends on the deck you are using because colors do change a bit depending on the printing, but both work really well here. Purple is a color linked to spirituality, to the divine, hence the reason it was often worn by royalty. They were believed to be God's sent. It was a very expensive color. But it is a color of spiritual development and knowledge. If your card printing is more of a grayish color, do not fear, because gray also works perfectly with this card, okay? Gray mixes black and white, everything and nothing. perfect balance that needs wisdom to be achieved. As such, gray is a color very associated with knowledge as well. So in one color or the other, the only piece of clothing that this woman has covering her is one that, in a way, wraps her in wisdom and enlightenment. Moving on, around her there is this green wreath with red ribbons. First thing I want to point out is the fact that this wreath is closed. It makes a circle, a perfect circle that also represents the number 0. Being a circle or the number 0, it is infinite. There is no ending and no beginning. So there is nothing and everything inside this wreath. But the top and the bottom of the circle both have red ribbons tied. So this can be a symbol that the circle is only closed temporarily by choice. Any given time, the woman can untie these ribbons and open the circle again, start another cycle. Regarding the colors, the wreath is obviously green. Regarding nature, nature elements that speak of growth, plants grow and go through changes on their cycles. And the red ribbons are the vitality, the action, the energy needed to go through this growth. And finally, outside of this wreath, on each corner of the card, there is an animal head. These represent the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, and as such, they also represent the 4 basic elements of the universe: water, air, earth, and fire. So top left is the human head. It represents the water bearer of the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is the fixed sign of the element of air. Air is also the element of the suit of swords on the Minor Arcana. This element represents knowledge, represents the intellect, the mind, and so on. And on the top right, we have an eagle. It's representing the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is the fixed sign of the element of water, and water is the element of the suit of cups. So we talked a lot about this element on previous videos, but again, water is an element of emotions, of the subconscious, and intuition. On the bottom left, we have the bull, obviously representing the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the fixed sign of the element of earth, and in turn, earth is the element corresponding to the suit of pentacles. Earth is an element of the physical, the palpable, the material, the economics, but also being earth is also linked to fertility and being grounded. Lastly, but not least important, is the bottom right head, that is a lion, obvious representation of the sign of Leo, and Leos are the fixed sign of the element of fire. In turn, fire is the element of the Minor Arcana suit of wands. Fire is another element I've talked plenty before, but again, fire is an active element filled with passion. It's hot-tempered and unpredictable. So by having these 4 heads, we have the representation of the whole zodiac signs, the 4 basic universe elements, and the 4 suits of the Minor Arcana. And in a way, it also represents the Major Arcana, since we have all of the zodiac signs associated with a card. This is a way of telling us that there is a bit of everything present in this scene to make it complete, to make it balanced. This woman has the 4 elements working in perfect balance and in her favor. The journey we did across the Major Arcana and its archetypes has its energy present here. It's a representation of cycles, of how we move across them, and when we reach the end, we start over again. And if you remember it, there is another card with this symbology represented in the very same way. I'm talking about the card of the Wheel of Fortune, where we also have a representation of the human, the eagle, the bull, and the lion on each of the corners. Lastly, this card is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is a planet with a bit of a bad reputation because it does create limits and restrictions, but it is also the planet that brings us structure and discipline. It teaches us about boundaries and gives us life lessons that we don't always want, but need. Let's move on and see what this card can mean on a reading. Always remember that the meanings I speak here are generic, and as always, they will depend on the interpretation of the whole spread, how the surrounding cards are affecting this one, and all of that, okay? Keep that in mind. But having this card drawn is often a positive thing, since it does speak of success, of finishing a cycle. It brings the sense of fulfillment, achievement, of being whole. Whatever you were working on, you have reached the destination. Things have worked together to help you close the cycle and achieve your goal. But remember that the world keeps spinning. It doesn't stop just because you are enjoying a good moment. Enjoy the day, but do like this woman of the card and keep your body facing the future while looking at the lessons of the past. Soon enough, a new cycle will start. Or, depending on the reading itself, it can mean that you are not there yet, but really close. There is just a last effort needed to reach the other end of the read to close it. If speaking about the future, for example, this can be a sign that you or the person you are doing the reading for are heading towards greatness, towards prosperity. There is a reward waiting for you if you keep working for it. You gotta put in the work. Now for the reversed meaning, there are a lot of ways to see this card. Like any reversed card, you can read it as the opposite of the upright version, or read the energy of the card as being blocked or faint, for example. It depends on your reading method. But if upright, this card speaks about fulfillment, being reversed, it can mean that this feeling of fulfillment is not being felt. You may be unable to reach it at this moment. It may be sort of delayed. Or you can be denying the teachings of the world itself. You can be closing yourself off the lessons of the 4 elements of the universe and not allowing yourself to learn and grow. You can be feeling or acting in a pessimistic way, acting like a doubter, a skeptic. And this is not helpful to you and is preventing you from achieving the feeling of completion. There isn't harmony present. And to recover it, you will need to focus, to work hard and bring yourself back to the harmonious world, to work in sync with the elements and remind yourself of your ultimate goal. Frustration can be at play here too. If you are working on something for a really long time and feel that you aren't reaching anywhere, you aren't seeing the end of it anytime soon, and maybe it can be a good time to reevaluate your efforts and see if you can work smarter rather than harder. Just don't give up. Refocus your attention. And this is everything I have for you today. I sincerely hope you have enjoyed this video and the whole Major Arcana videos. It was a lot of fun for me to do them, even if at times it was hard to keep the schedule or to control, the fear of disappointing those that do watch my videos. I do see each and every one that leaves a comment as a friend that is here to share knowledge and experiences. It warms my heart when people reach out and are nice and welcoming. And when I first uploaded a video about tarot, I was honestly so afraid of the reactions because tarot and divinations and all of that are things that are still seen with some prejudice and even some scorn, especially here in Portugal. But the feedback I got was always so honest, so encouraging, that I never really felt like giving up the series or stop doing my videos at all. My will to film them actually grew with each video I did. I don't count the followers or the views, but I do count the comments and the feedback and the friendship that you all have shown me at some point. While I am sad to finish the Major Arcana, I'm super happy that I was able to find the time, the courage, and even the will to even start doing these videos. I wanted to do something like this for years and I never really had the guts to do it. And honestly, every comment, every like, every interaction with my videos was super amazing to witness. So if you are on that side watching this, thank you so much for your support, for your love. It has been a great gift being able to share and to know so many people over the past videos. I'm thankful for all of you being here and I hope I can see you soon on the next videos for the Minor Arcana. And let me know what suit of the Minor Arcana you would like me to start from. I would like your opinion on that. I hope you all have the most wonderful holiday season and spread joy and kindness. Always remember to spread kindness. Stay safe. I'll see you soon. Bye.